If you're writing the JAMB examination this year, ensure you watch this video till the end. Okay, now in this video, we're going to be practicing some JAMB likely exam questions that are going to come out this year on stress pattern. Okay, the rule is simple. All you simply have to do is practice these problems with me, and then I can help you make it easy for your examination. Before we proceed, I want those of you writing the JAMB examination this year to go down to the comment section and comment JAMB exam, just so that I know you're writing the examination and we can stay connected. Okay, now here are some series of problems on the board on stress pattern that JAM will likely ask you guys this year. Okay, first things first, before I attempt these questions, kindly note that this is part 4 of our video series on stress pattern. If you've not watched part 1, 2, and 3, you can as well check the YouTube playlist of this same channel, okay, to watch parts 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now in this part 4 video, we're going to be dealing with words that ends with ical, al, ible, ble, and sis. Okay, now the first one here, we're having what now? The word mechanical. Now JAMB wants us to identify the stress path of mechanical. Let me brief you guys on the definition of stress again. Now, whenever we're pronouncing a word, one syllable of that word or one part of that word is pronounced more, okay, with more emphasis than the other part. Okay, that part in which we emphasize more on is what we call the words, the stressed part of the word. Okay, now to identify the stressed parts of the word, we usually include syllable. You should know what syllable means. Okay, syllable is the unit in which you break the word into. Okay, now we're having what now? Mechanical. Mechanical has how many syllables? Mechanical. So it has 4 syllables. Okay, now we can now choose the part of the syllable that has what now? The stressed parts of the word. Okay, so we're having what now? Mechanical. How do we stress mechanical? Notice that on top I have put ical or al. This means that all words that end with ical or and this means that all words that end with ical or al are stressed the same way. Okay, so any English word you can think of that ends with ical or al, it is being stressed the same way. Okay, now to stress words that end with ical or al, we place the stress on the third syllable to the last. Okay, or the third syllable from the end. That is, the third syllable from the end is the stressed part of the word. Look at this first question, mechanical. Okay, option A, we're having mechanical, me stress, that is mechanical. Okay, now option B, we have mechanical, that is mechanical. Okay, mechanical, cha stress. Okay, now how about option C, mechanical, ni stress, that's mechanical. Okay, and option D, mechanical, cal stress, that is mechanical. Okay, now which of these is the right answer? When I talked about the syllable, now if you choose to break this mechanical into its units, we are going to have something like mechanical. Okay, we're going to have something like this. Now what you want to ask yourself is, what part of this guy is stressed? According to the rule, since it ends with ical, look at this, ical or al, we are going to stress it same way we are going to stress directional, because it ends with al, or fanatical. Okay, because this one also ends with al. Okay, so for this particular one, this is the first syllable, because the rule said from the last. This is the first syllable, this is the second, this is the third, and this is the fourth. Okay, third syllable from the last. Okay, coming from the last, third syllable from the last is what now? Car. That's cha. Okay, so the stress part becomes what now? Mechanical. That's option what? Option B. Okay, very, very easy. Now, if you've watched my previous video, notice there was an example where I stressed mechanic. Okay, where I stressed mechanic. Now, to stress mechanic, that's mechanic. Okay, to stress mechanic, the stress is also on cha. That is why you should take note that most words, if you are to stress them, if you can coin out a base word from it, okay, the stress remains the same. So if I'm to stress mechanic, cha remains the word now, the stress part. Why? We are stressing the second to the last syllable, okay, for mechanic. That is words ending with ic. That is the rule. Okay, take note of that. Okay, so for mechanic, mechanical, or mechanics, they are stressed the same way. Okay, now let's look at the next example on the board. We're having directional. To stress directional, we're having different options here. We're having directional, REC stress, that is directional. Okay, now option B, directional. Okay, how about option C, directional, and option D, directional? Okay, notice how emphasis are being laid on various units of the word that we are seeing in the options or the various options. Okay, now which of these is the correct answer? Now, to stress directional, it ends with al, so the rule remains the same. Okay, now the rule is whenever a word ends with ical or al, we are to stress the third syllable from the end. Okay, now what is the third syllable from the end for this particular guy? Okay, if you break this guy to its units, we'll have what now? Directional. Okay, third from the end, we have first, second, third. Take note, some of the rules will tell you from the beginning, some of the rules will tell you from the end. Okay, take note of the one that tells you from the beginning and from the end. Okay, if you might be wondering, how do you know the one that tells you from the beginning? It's simple. I'll give you the rule. Okay, if you watch my previous videos, I've given you the ones that are stressed on the first syllable. Example, words end with sm. Those ones, they have their what now? They are stressed on the first syllable of the word. Okay, why for words that have stress syllable on the second to the last word, I've given you guys those ones. Okay, we have words that end with ics, words that end with ic. Okay, words that end with ious, eous, okay, ual, okay, and so on and so forth. You can watch my previous videos to understand that. Okay, now for directional, the third syllable from the last, we have first, second, third. That's what now? Rec. That's rec. Okay, so which option carries rec? Obviously option A. They don't even want you to stress yourself. That is why I put the answer in option A. Okay, now look at question 3, fanatical. Based on my explanation so far, I'd like you guys to attempt fanatical question 3. Okay, so attempt this particular one and drop your answers in the comment section. Okay, let's make sure you have been following the video. Okay, while you are doing that, I'm going to write the formula that is used to stress always ending with what now? ICEL or AL. Okay, that is a syllable can come. Okay, any syllable at all, and then we'll have the stress plus another syllable, and then ICAL or AL. This is the formula you need. Okay, this is the formula you need to take note of. The stress is always the third from the last. So you have first syllable, second syllable, and then we have the stress as the third syllable. Okay, I'm guessing you've answered this question to you by now. Let's just now see the right answer to this particular question on the board. Okay, fanatical. Fanatical ends with AL. Okay, it also ends with ICAL. So the rule remains the same. Okay, what is the rule? We are going to stress the third syllable from the last. Okay, option A, we're having fanatical, NA stressed. Option B, fanatical, FA stressed. Option C, fanatical, CAL. And option D, fanatical, TI stressed. Okay, so we have what now? Fanatical. Okay, you say stress it the third from the last. So we have first, we have second, we have third. Okay, so NA is being stressed. Okay, so which of these options carry NA as stressed? That's what now? Option A. Very, very correct. Option A carries what now? NA stress. Okay, coming to these other aspects of the board, notice we're having words that ends with IBLE or BLE. Okay, if you even notice, in general, I have grouped words that ends the same way on different parts of the board, even in my previous videos. So for the words here, it ends with ICAL or AL, and for the words here, they end with BLE or IBLE, and for the other one, we have SIS. Now let's do these ones on the board. Okay, now question 4 reads impossible. JAMB is going to ask you, what part of this word impossible is stressed? Okay, what part of the word do we lay emphasis on? Okay, what part? Option A, we have possible. Option B, impossible. Option C, impossible. And option D, impossible. Okay, now which of these 4 options is the correct answer? Okay, now which of these 4 options? For words ending with BLE or IBLE, how do we stress them? The trick is we stress them the same way. That is, the syllable, okay, that is third to the last is also what now? Stressed. You do the same thing as this one. Okay, so stress the syllable that's what now? That is what? Third to the last. That is how it works. Okay, so we're having what now? A word like impossible. Okay, for a word like impossible, where's the stress going to be? We're having BLE as a last syllable, we have C second, and we have PO third. Okay, PO is third because we are calculating from the last, not from the beginning. Okay, so to stress impossible, we lay emphasis on PO. Okay, which option is that? That is option B. It is very, very easy, trust me. Okay, JAMB know that learning the tricks to all of this is very easy. Okay, that is why I bring it out in the JAMB examination hall. Okay, and then we're having the next word on the board, admissible. How do you stress admissible? To stress admissible, okay, look at the various options. We're having admissible, MI stressed. admissible SSI stressed, admissible AD, and admissible BLE. What is the rule again? Words ending with IBLE or BLE are stressed the same way. That is, they are stressed with the third syllable. Okay, emphasis is laid on the third syllable from the end. Okay, so we have admissible. If I should break it down, we have admissible. This is the first, this is the second, this is the third. So MI is being stressed. It should be written in capital letters. That's option A. Now look at option D. We're having permissible. Again, a word ending with IBLE. Permissible. How are you going to stress permissible? Okay, if you break it down, we have PERMISSIBLE. So we have first, we have second, we have third. So MI again will be stressed. That will be option what now? Option D. Now notice how I gave you guys IBLE or BLE. Meanwhile, all the examples there are ending with IBLE. Okay, so even if you're having a word that does not end with IBLE, but there's BLE at the end, let's say, for example, formidable. Okay, this one is ending with BLE, not IBLE. Okay, so to stress this one, we have formidable. Okay, now the stress is going to be on the third syllable from the last. So you have first, second, and third. Okay, so regardless, even if it's ending with just BLE or IBLE, the stress remains what now? On the third. Now let's move on to the next part of the board. We're having words ending with SIS. How do you stress them? Ladies and gentlemen, the rule remains the same. Okay, that is why I have put all of them together. Okay, words ending with SIS are stressed with the third syllable from the last. Again, very, very easy. You might be surprised. Why? It is just the rule. Okay, so we have a word here like osmosis, for example. How do you stress osmosis? Okay, now to stress osmosis, we can as well break it down again. We have osmosis. Okay, JAMB is going to ask you, so pay attention. Okay, this is the first syllable, the second, and the third. Okay, the third is obviously now the first syllable. Okay, it is now the first syllable, right? So OS is being stressed. Okay, and that is what now? Option D. So you have option A, osmosis, MO is stressed. We have osmosis. Option B, osmosis. And option D, option C rather, osmosis. Okay, now notice how OS and MO are being stressed. I've said this thing countless times in my other videos. Okay, whenever you are seeing two parts of the word stress, just remove it. Two syllable cannot be stressed in a single word. Okay, it is wrong. Cannot have two syllable stress. It's always a single syllable. So that OS is stress or MO is stress, but having both is totally wrong. Okay, so if you are seeing this, this should be one of the options you should eliminate first. Okay, and option D is the right answer. Now, how about this one? We have parentheses. Parentheses. Another word ending with SIS. How do you stress parentheses? Okay, now to stress parentheses, the rule remains the same. We are going to stress the syllable that is third from the last. Okay, so cis is the first syllable. Okay, THE, that's te, is the second syllable, and RAN is the third syllable. Okay, so now which of the options? This one is carrying parentheses. PA is stressed as P parentheses. Option B, parentheses. Okay, there's an N here. Okay, and then we have what now? Parentheses, and then we have parentheses. Okay, now which of these will be the answer? Very, very easy to understand. Okay, that is what now? Test label from the last, that's RAN. Option what now? Option C. And then the last question on the board, we're having photosynthesis. You might as well want to attempt this particular one. So you can pause the video, think about it, what will be the right answer. Okay, practice makes perfect. That's why you should attempt each question I give you to attempt. So you're having photosynthesis. How do you stress photosynthesis? Okay, now to stress photosynthesis, the rule remains the same because it is ending with SIS. Okay, we're going to stress the syllable that is third from the last. Okay, that's what now? Sits first, second, sin, third, we have two, fourth, and we have four, we have what now? Fifth. Okay, sin is the third. Okay, so which option carries sin? That is option what now? Option A. I don't even want you to stress yourself, that's why I'm putting it on option A. Okay, very, very easy. So photosynthesis is stressed with the SYN stress. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't end there. There's always more to learn. Okay, if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel at this point, I'd like you to smash that subscribe button. Okay, and also switch on the notification bell on YouTube here so that whenever I upload a new video, you'll be one of the first persons that will get notified about it. Help yourself pass the JAMB examination. Okay, now if you have any more questions, feel free, drop it in the comment section. I will always respond to you. Remember, you can always register for our online classes, okay, for JAMB and BRIC as well. To register for our online classes, simply go to my YouTube page and then click on the link on my bio. Click on the link that takes you directly to my WhatsApp DM, and let me know that you want to be registered for the class. So fellas, see you in the next video.